Hello, welcome back to another speculation video. Two in the same week. After I made that last video, um, there was a lot of interesting comments and discussion, and I figured it's good to make another video right away to elaborate on some of the questions and answers that I received. Um, when it comes down to speculation bubble, just like in the real estate market that we saw back in 2005 through 2008, or the stock market bubble in 1999, 1998 with the emergence of the internet. As with every bubble, it will burst. When? Hard to tell. That's the thing. Every bubble, every speculation bubble out there rely on what scholars call the greater fool theory. The greater fool theory is simply uh, the theory that when you buy something, you're hoping that the next person is willing to pay you more, be a bigger fool than you are, right? And then so on and so forth. The one that purchased from you, then again, hope to be able to flip for a higher profit to the next buyer, and then the next and the next, and eventually the bubble bursts when there are not enough buyers out there that's willing to pay the ludicrous prices for these things. There's many other factors that goes into it, but as with most bubble, I can tell you, you know, for all of us who was old enough to witness the stock market bubble of 1998 and 1999, with all the .com and internet stock going crazy, the warning signs are everywhere. Okay, the common saying is that when the taxi driver out there can give you stock tips, that's the canary in the coal mine as far as it's getting out of hand. And with the real estate market, when people are able to buy a house with no jobs, no money down, that's a big warning signs right there. Okay, because the old rule of thumbs in simple economics has always been it take money to make money. And when people are starting to be able to make money out of thin air, it's the beginning of the end. But if we go back to comic books, is there a bubble? Sure. When you see crazy prices going on eBay on many things, no doubt it's a bubble. The big question is, when is it going to end? That's the real tough question. I have had this debate with a lot of people in the last 2 years. And the problem, well, I wouldn't say the problem, part of the comic book bubble that we witness today ties into how movies and TVs have brought the hobby into the limelight. Okay, now first off, most of what's going on eBay and the crazy speculation price that's going on are simply speculators selling back and forth between each others or between each uh, you know speculators selling to new speculators selling to new speculators. So the greater fool theory is in play in full view for all of us to see. Okay, all of us to see. uh, and the thing is, in my opinion, this question has come up quite a few times about, is there too many superhero movies or too many TV shows? Is there a bubble in that medium? And my answer is no. Okay, here's my reasoning why I don't think there is a bubble in movies or TVs. Sure, from our viewpoint, from the average collectors that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, sure, seeing two or three superheroes film on a big screen every year is like, wow, we went for decades with nothing. So to be able to see three on the average per year for the last couple of years and for the next decade seem like, my God, it's a bubble. Okay, and same thing on TV. We went for decades with Wonder Woman and Hulk, right? And then now you have, of course, Arrows, right? And then you have Gotham, and then you're gonna have Flash. You have Flash, uh, and then of course Daredevil. There's a whole bunch in the works that are, and then of course Agent of Shield. Ugh, horrid. But there are. It's gonna be half a dozen shows or more by next year. Okay, if not more. And Arrows is only on its third season, so can this show last 5, 6, 7, 8 more years? Maybe. Okay, it's rare to see a TV show last 9 or 10 years. The odds are against that. So can I see the speculation driven demand from characters appearing TV shows going on for a few more years? Absolutely. Okay, I like I said, the greater food theories are visible for all of us to witness right now, but until that last fools show up and buy something way overpriced with no other fools behind him to make a profit for that person, then that fool will be the one holding the bags and likely the first victim of the burst in the bubble, right? And the same thing with so on TV, okay, you have half a dozen shows on TV. Is that too much? Is it so much that the audience is gonna turn off? I beg to differ. Here's the reason. As long as TV has been around, okay, just look at how many cop shows, hospital doctor shows, and firefighter shows that we see on TV, and sitcom. Most family sitcom are basically one version altered over the many decades. Okay, the dynamic of the family members or the cast change a little bit here and there, but the formula are pretty much the same. We have not gotten sick of watching Law and Order or CSI after they've been around for 10 plus years. Every season there are a couple of hospital doctor related shows. So when it comes down to the genre, there there is room for superhero genre in the small screen, no doubt. For years to come, for decades to come, who knows? They might drag out Squirrel Girl 10 years down the road when they run out of uh, character to use, right? Um, and then as far as the big screen, okay, here we go again with the big screen. A lot of people talk about, is there a saturation of superhero movies? On the average, we get 3 movies coming out every Friday. Every Friday, there are many, many movies that are released, new movies, but usually there are at least 1 to 3 that are considered big, that get attention from the media, from YouTube bloggers and big reviewers. So when you think about it, on an average, 200 plus movies are being released in the US. Not forget about foreign market, okay? Forget about Hong Kong film or UK film. Just the US market alone, we're looking at 150 to 200 new movies per year, and mystery, action. No doubt, I put superheroes in a genre by itself compared to like action, like expendable kind of action. And then you have romantic comedy. We have half a dozen new romantic comedy movies every year for the last 30 years. Are we sick of them? So to worry that seeing 3 or 4 superhero movies on the screen is too much 5 years from now, I don't think that's the case. I think the public, the general public, has come around to enjoy superheroes regardless of what's going on in the comic books. Okay, like I said, comic book sales has not been helped by movies or TV. So once again, the popularity, the emergence of acceptance of the general public with the movies and TVs has nothing to do with the speculation media mania, speculation mania that you see on eBay. The speculation mania that you see on eBay is just speculators selling to other speculators. Okay, it's not a person sitting there watching Arrow TV show is not going to run out there and buy his first comic books, Deathstroke, Teenage Mutant Ninja, the Teen Titan #2. That's the odds of that is slim. Okay, slim to none as far as a general viewer that enjoy the Arrow TV show that never buy comic books. That person is not going to run out there and bid up on eBay to have a copy of the first appearances of Deathstroke. Okay, and for that, I think I can never ties in the speculation bubble of comic books with what's going on with TV and movies, because I don't think that's a fair or accurate ties in, because I think there's very little correlation of what's going on. The only correlation of what's going on is between the speculators. Okay, it's the speculators that watch the TV show, then run on eBay and hype it up, and other speculators jump on the bandwagon and buy it, relist it, higher price, flipping it. Sure, there are buyers out there that are not speculators. It's human for some of us to see something like that and rush out there to buy to have a copy. Okay, so not anyone that participate in this speculation bubble are speculators. There are collectors out there, and in the end, usually those are the people that get hurt more because they buy and hold, right? They don't flip, so they overpay for something only to see that book value crash later, and then they feel silly paying way too much for that book. But that's, part of the game, okay? And that's part of the reason why I can't stress enough about doing your best to avoid getting sucked into the speculation mania that we witness, because unless you are nimble and fast and know the market and understand how to play this speculation game, don't go out there and buy and hold and thinking that, your copy of Deathstroke is gonna be worth $1,000 10 years from now. It's not gonna happen. Okay? The odds of Squirrel Girl being $1,000 10 years from now because of any kind of TV appearances, I just don't see it. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit I'm wrong. But I think the speculation market out there is pretty crazy. I think most people that follow the comic book market long enough would understand that it's getting to it has been, not getting to that, it has been at the point of silly for a long time, and it stay at so it have ramped up to silly and ludicrous level, and it's staying at that because the TV shows are feeding and fueling the speculators out there in speculating on all these books. Okay, that's so that will keep on going for, I think, a few more years. Because I don't see that trend stopping. The popularity of these TV shows are just at the start, not peaking. Okay, we're not peaking at the superhero genre on the small screen. By far, we are not peaking. So there are going to be a lot more characters that's going to be used on the small screen. So who knows what's going to happen in the general market, but eventually, like any bubble, there will be less buyers out there, and once the equation flip on more sellers than buyers, simple economics, supplies and demand. Once that flip, it's over. Okay, uh, every bubble that crash and burn. There are no such thing as a slow air being letting out of the bubble. It pop. Okay, and once it pop, watch out. We saw that with the real estate market that almost crashed the economy uh, of the entire world. I mean, the real estate crash of 2008 brought down Europe too. It's contagious. It hurt every banks in the whole Western world. But that's it. Hopefully, my rambling in this video makes some kind of sense. And like I said, for those that can profit in this game, more kudos to you. And for those that don't know what you're doing, be careful, because this is not a game where everybody make money. There's no such thing. Okay, there is no such thing. It takes money to make money, and once you feel that it's that easy to make money by just flipping books, it's the beginning of the end. So watch out for those inner voices. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye.